Oh, God.
Take it off the table, ding-a-links.
Too late. I already made a bunch of noise. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. It sounds like we're opening 40,000 beers.
But we are opening a couple 40s.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Kevin, you did this.
Oh,
Wait,
boy.
I want the glug glug.
There you go.
So I don't know if y'all planned a bit, but we don't really care. You can wait your turn. It's our fucking show. Here's our bit. Are you ready? Can I reach into my Mary Poppins bag?
Oh, hello.
Get ready, bitches.
Oh, God.
You about to get bounced.
You're
Oh,
about to
God.
get bounced.
Oh, welcome to the party.
Oh, God.
Does this mean I'm going to get as drunk as Janine from that episode?
Probably.
Very likely.
Here, use this guy.
If you're listening at home, Allison just busted out the cherry bounce. Poured it into Neal and Kevin's glasses. Let's see what happens next.
Kevin, bounce with me.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I can't
Sorry
believe
to
I
reach.
didn't use that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts, feelings?
I think I liked it more than I liked season 3 of Outlander.
Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired.
Snap, snap,
Across
snap.
the bow. Oh, man.
This is going to be a lot less fun when our general vibe is a little bit negative.
Yeah.
Like now it's just going to be, we're going to be like, well, Kevin, I wouldn't go quite that far, but as opposed to like, you're so wrong. You're so wrong.
Jesus.
Welcome to Outlander Drunkcast, an Outlander podcast. I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
That's Janine.
Hey.
And this is Dudelander. So if y'all planned a bit, now would be a great time to do it.
Sing me a song of the last that is gone. I mean,
Holy shit. Oh, my God. That sounded like Ika Wika Wine.
it's about as culturally sensitive as the music on this season was.
Oh, boy. Whoa.
2 minutes in.
Yeah.
So, how do we all feel about this season of The Good Place?
Is it over?
No, we're at hiatus.
Okay.
So welcome to Dudelander, and Podlander Drunkcast, Outlander podcast. Fellas, why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm Neal Starboard.
And I'm Kevin Lambert.
And based on an iTunes review from a couple of seasons ago, I feel the need to specify that Neal is Julie's husband and Kevin is what I like to call my archenemy for fun. He's actually just my friend.
I also want to specify, based on iTunes reviews, that Kevin and I get along great. He's never done anything to make me feel afraid.
Neal, show me on the doll where Kevin hurt you.
Nope. Those are spurious rumors.
Oh, well.
Steve Spurious.
I hope. Did I do that all right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh.
In all seriousness,
Took all that out.
everybody who reviews us on iTunes is so funny and thoughtful and smart and incredibly good looking and probably well-to-do and destined for greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Please review us on iTunes.
Yes.
But one of my very favorite reviews, which if I had more money, I was planning on printing up and framing and giving to you guys for Christmas, but it didn't happen because I'm lazy and broke. But it says a bunch of really nice things about us. And if you're listening, it's such a sweet review. Thank you so much. And then says the only thing I didn't like is the way that Kevin treated Neal.
I like to think that I have like fairly thick skin, but you told me about it, so I went and I read the review, and it like stuck with me. I think about it at least twice a week that I'm in some way hurt Neal's feelings and I'm mean to him, but
The funny thing
It
is,
seems so topsy-turvy to our actual relationship.
I know.
Kevin, he's married to me. Like, don't worry about hurting his feelings.
I should say that in their day-to-day relationship, the Kevin and Neal relationship is mostly Neal tormenting Kevin.
That's true.
In dozens of small ways.
That's not entirely true. He, since we've been watching this season, he's been making me meals, and
Oh, well, that's very nice.
they're
Yeah,
very
but how
good.
many times has he sent you that hat picture?
Fucking hate that picture.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't you should have just put it on?
It's too hot in
right
here.
It is kind of hot.
It is a little toasty.
Boy, that really would have
For
pissed
those
him
of you
off.
that are not following me on Facebook, which is completely fine, Neal has taken a photo of himself in this stupid hat, giving a thumbs up.
It's an amazing hat.
And whenever it's cold out in Chicago, he likes to let me know that it's cold by putting that picture on my wall, telling me that it's cold.
So sometimes also in the comments of other unrelated posts. Those are my favorites.
When it just shows up.
Anyway, for those who are just listening now and haven't done the thing where you realize like, oh shit, I think these girls are funny, but I don't understand anything they're talking about because they never bother to explain any of the nicknames. I guess I'd better go back to the beginning of the podcast and listen to all of it. So if you just started listening and haven't gotten to that point yet and haven't yet heard of Dudelander we do once a year when these two men show up and get wasted and talk about the season of Outlander, which they watch for us. They're currently drinking 40s of Miller Lite.
A fine Pilsner beer.
I want you to know, Janine, out of penis solidarity, peanidarity.
Peanidarity.
Cocksureness.
Cutsurity. No, I'm gonna come out with it. Anyway,
There's a bros before blank joke here, and I'm just not reaching it.
bros before fine Pilsner beer. I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
know, I got nothing.
he's also drinking one, but I should say he's drinking it like Julie and I are drinking our much better beers out of these fucking glasses
This fucking glass,
that
man.
Kara sent us.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you moved the microphone.
Well, because I realized I was going to talk about this glass, but I didn't
Yeah.
want to interrupt you.
So listener Kara, I don't know, Kara Marlowe, whatever,
Marlowe,
Kara Marlowe. I just didn't. I always feel weird saying somebody's full name, like they're going to get internet stalked by someone, but no. Whatever. She doesn't live in the United States. Nobody's going to internet stalk her. Anyway, Kara Marlowe sent us these fucking cool glasses that say, "Sing me a song of a lass that is gone." And there's a little etching of the fucking credits, dear. And then
Fucking
underneath
credits, dear.
it says, "Probably to drink Castellan podcast," and it makes me so happy.
You guys, when I took them out to get them ready today, first of all, they're crystal.
Yeah.
Secondly, they are dishwasher safe, which to
thank
me is
God.
fucking key. So thank you for that.
She's listened to us.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you, Kara.
This is
This is
wonderful.
cool.
She also sent us a Christmas ornament and some candy, some really good candy, including 3 candy bars that are flavored like Eatin' Mess, which made me laugh so hard.
And, I should have brought it in here. Have you tried the camel milk chocolate?
Not yet. No, I've been saving it.
She sent us chocolate bars made out of camel's milk, you guys.
Whoa, I heard that right? Camel?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
that- I can't
Maybe we'll
wait.
try it later.
Yes,
I'm really obsessed. Carol, thank you so much. It made us laugh
please.
so hard.
It's wonderful.
They're beautiful.
Anyway,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
What does crystal mean? It's glass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also crystal. What does that mean?
Leaded crystal, it's like heavier. It's just crystal.
It's crystal.
It's fancier.
Yeah, man.
I think
It's
the rest of the
crystal.
podcast should be about this.
I don't.
He's just trying to avoid the fact that he doesn't want to talk about Outlander.
Oops, sorry, can I really quickly? I have to bring this point up, or I will entirely forget it.
Okay.
Butthole.
You didn't say it right.
Yeah, you didn't say it right.
Oh no, I say it how I want to say it.
Oh, okay. I mean, fair.
Beehole is how I prefer to say it.
Oh.
Beehole. That's for you, Japanese. So
Crystal.
Speaking of beehole.
yeah, speaking of beehole and a-hole.
Oh,
So I had a tough realization in the last couple of weeks. And you all know, and I don't know if you listening at home, everybody in the room knows. I basically at this point spend most of my December writing variations on top 10 lists until I just want to die. I could do a top 10 list of my top 10 lists this year. That's a first. Anyway.
How many total do you have? Obviously more than 10. How many?
I think it was probably 10.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Still,
it was
but you could rank
rounded
them.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was 6th?
I have no idea.
She'd have to spend time to write it out.
Yeah, I would have to. Are you going to pay me? Because I'll write you a top 10 list of my top 10 lists, but I don't work for free anymore. So
Hey-o.
yeah,
I will Venmo it to you right now.
great. So,
He's actually
but
pulling out
I
his
had
phone.
to. Oh my god! So I had to write a couple of TV top 10s, and they changed as I watched new things and caught up on things and all of that shit. But Outlander didn't make any of my top 10 lists.
No, this season wasn't
That is the
very
first
good.
time that's happened since I started watching the show.
Not even for like costumes or something.
Well, I didn't get to do a costumes list. I
Okay.
would have made my costumes list,
Okay.
but you know what? It
Boats?
also wouldn't have been number
A
one.
boats list?
Yeah, your top 10 wooden boats
You
list.
can Venmo me for a boats list, and I'll tell you what, it wouldn't have been first. Thanks, season 2 of The Crown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it, was very nice.
Tough season for Outlander.
It made me really sad. But you know what would have made my top 10? The jawline, the Tobias Menzies
Oh,
jawline.
yes. It would have been there.
Number 1 jawline.
Number 1 jawline. Number 2 creases. Face creases.
I love the
Disagree.
creases.
Paddington Bear has a new sequel out. I think it wins on both of those with that bear. Jawline and face creases.
Oh, you know, those are good face creases.
Solid face creases on that bear.
But no.
No.
But this isn't about what we thought of this season of Outlander. This is about what these gents thought of this season of Outlander. And in the past, we've tried to structure this, and it has been a fool's errand. So I don't know how you guys would like to get started.
Oh boy, I think you should try to structure it. I think that would be a good idea.
Let's start with some good things. Who was your favorite this season, gentlemen?
The girl that pokes him with the stick on the beach. I thought she was great.
Neal and I watched it for the second time, which is a weird sort of
The
miracle.
finale.
Neal just watched the finale for the first time
Like an hour ago.
an hour before we were recording, so that is very fresh.
So
in
my
his brain.
commentary is going to be very heavy on the final.
Please
Yeah,
don't.
but come on. There are other moments. Come on. There was a lot of fucking. There was like a gratuitous boob lick at one point. Come on. There's been people drowned, people sewed through people's noses. There've got to be some other high marks.
I think for me, it's difficult this season because this is the first time that we've tried to watch it in real time versus the past years being able to binge them.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that huge lapse in 13, 14 weeks of time since the season started, it's difficult to remember what was good because so much sticks out that wasn't, I think, on par with where it's been in the previous seasons.
That's literally the nicest thing Kevin's ever said
Yeah.
about Outlander.
It is very true.
That's
And-
not true. He
and-
said some things about some nice butts and boobs before.
That's true.
Solid TNA, guys.
and he likes a lot of Verbeek.
But
Oh,
it's also
You know what? Take that immediately right back. What was the penultimate episode?
Her and the
Her in the bath
with the
of
blood, and she looks like she's got that Britney Spears bodysuit on.
man.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
you mean from Oops, I Did It Again?
Is that what it's from?
Oops,
red
I
one?
did it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I never would have thought of that.
Well, I expect our experience of that video was somewhat different.
Oh, of course.
With that video, I was all about the hair flips and trying to figure out the logic of Titanic being real enough that the necklace that gets dropped into the ocean at the end of the movie also gets dropped into the ocean in real life.
Is there a snake in that video?
And then an
No,
astronaut
that's Slave.
goes
Okay.
down into the ocean to get the necklace for Brittany, who's a Martian. That was my experience. I imagine your experience was
That was a
mostly
Doctor Who
having
thing.
a boner.
100% visual experience.
Just classy.
I don't even know what that song sounds like.
I didn't remember there was an astronaut in that, to be honest.
I
No,
ju-
babe, I went down and got it for you. Oh, you shouldn't have. Sorry, I know it really well.
I just now realized that that's a different song from the "Hit Me Another Time" song.
That's the
a separate
Catholic
song.
schoolgirl one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
Right.
Slave is the one when you're thinking
the
of the
snake.
snake, you're thinking of the VMAs where she did it on TV with the
How the hell
snake.
did I see that?
It was everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, you saw it because you're male, and it was hot shit.
Hot lady with snake. It's a thing for you guys. I don't know why.
No.
I feel like it's being sold to us all the time, like it's a hot thing for us, but I'm not sure it actually is.
I don't think the snake has anything to do with the hotness.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really hot.
I was in the Glee episode with Britney Spears.
Oh,
Were
yeah, that's
you?
right. You were in the pep rally in the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Did she wear a wig?
I didn't see her
Why did you even enter into this conversation?
because that's as close as I get,
Just kidding.
That's cold.
and I don't have a mic, so I'm just trying to take it from Kevin as much
Ice
as possible.
cold, like the way Claire treated Frank's girlfriend when she showed up at the door. Does that happen in this episode?
No,
Season-
No. Yeah,
yes,
that
it
did
did
happen.
happen
Okay,
in the
yes.
season, but she wasn't ice cold because she didn't know who the fuck she was.
I think
There was no like.
I think if there's anybody that's ice cold in that scenario, it's Frank fucking Randall.
Mhm.
Like, dude, don't shit where you eat.
Yeah, don't let the
But
mistress
she
come
was
to your
supposed
house.
to be gone already.
Yeah, but come
And it's her
there
fucking
weren't cell phones
graduation.
to communicate this change
Yeah,
in
but
time.
you could just have a place like that poor woman could have been sitting by herself in a nice motel somewhere, wondering why he was running late.
He is a tenured professor at Harvard. He does not have the money to put her in a fancy hourly hotel.
Have you seen that house?
No,
This
all kinds
is
of
the,
money.
this is the
Yeah,
60s.
what about that
Come on.
car?
Also, she lives somewhere. Couldn't he
why
have
not
just
go
gone
to
to her
her
place?
house?
Come on. Or she could have driven by, noticed that there were a million fucking cars there because they were having a party, and then been like, zoop and gone on her way.
Also, the way that we
So
thought it
rich.
should have happened was when the door opened and his wife is standing there, go, oh, I'm sorry, this is the wrong address, and then just turn around and walk away because that's really what.
Here's what I would have done.
Should
The
have
door
done.
would have opened, and I would have gone, have you heard the good word of the Lord? And Claire would have slammed the door, and I would have been
And
like,
we were like, whoo!
ooh, that was
so
a close
close.
one. Yeah.
No more favorites? You guys have to have
Come
a
on.
couple of
there
favorites.
So
are.
Lottie
I mean,
would be covered in blood.
I generally liked Frank and Claire and Boston stuff. It was all really tense and well acted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I think that I've got larger thoughts on the way that this season was presented to us on TV, which we'll touch on probably later. But no, I think that first part of the season, focusing just on them and their coming back together after this, that's an interesting story, and I enjoyed the way that those two acted it out. I was always Team Frank. If you do go back and listen to previous Dudelanders, I'm consistent on my love of Team Frank. So it was nice to get a little bit of that resolution to that story, I guess.
The news at the moment is that they're desperately trying to find a way to bring him back. Book readers will know there is an easy way to bring him back, and I would be super excited
Force
about that.
Ghost? Is it a Force Ghost?
Force Ghost.
Force Ghost?
Force Ghost.
As in, may the force be
Like,
with you.
Oh.
showing up in like
No spoilers.
blue line. It's from
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Okay. I guess me saying no spoilers is then actually more of a spoiler, isn't it?
Yeah, our movie's from 1983. What are you talking about?
Then suck my dick, Kevin. No, not a Force Ghost. Flashbacks. It would probably
Zombie?
mostly be flashbacks.
Zombie because
Zombie
they
Frank.
go back to Jamaica, raise Frank as a zombie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
No, I think it's more likely that they go back to Boston
Mm-hmm.
and then like conjure him from the fucking future. I don't know.
If they play the Flogging Molly song, I will be all about it. Isn't it Flogging Molly?
It turns out that the Liberty Bell is above some underground dick rocks, and they bring him back through time.
Wait, is this like a National Treasure movie, Neal?
Isn't the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Yeah, it's close. Everything's close up there.
It turns out the Empire State Building is actually on top of some dick rocks,
Yep.
and you can get there from Vermont.
I think that if they're bringing him back, and this is my guess, that he's going to show up as Blackjack.
I think that is extremely unlikely.
Oh man, I think it's going to happen.
No, Blackjack died of Culloden.
Let me do that. How do I raise
that's
this
true.
point?
What? But is he dead? I mean,
Yes.
we saw him got run over by cows once.
But
and
We
he
also saw him
died.
get stabbed in the dick.
You're right, and he didn't die then.
He's totally dead.
Okay, well,
There's.
all right.
It's just.
How do you kill a monster?
Yeah, he could get Frankenstein that shit.
That's what. Also, like, what if he shows up in like flashbacks in Jamie's mind or something like
Well, I
that?
think that's possible.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
PTSD and shit.
Yeah.
I think that is actually possible. But I will draw your attention to a plot point left dangling by this season that I think is the most. What are you pointing at?
I'm tired.
Were you pointing at a dangling?
Yeah,
Something
I
dangling?
was
Yes,
like-
he was making
I
the
was
dangle.
pulling down like the
Aaron,
thing,
sorry,
like-
Janine was gesticulating, and I was like, "What
Just
did I do?
doing
Are you
this.
pointing at the clock?"
He was making the angle of the
but
dangle.
you just told me 17 minutes. Why do I need to look at the time? Anyway,
Just ignore me.
in one of those early episodes when Frank is still trying to figure out how to like connect with his beloved, the first beloved, not the second beloved. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he's writing a letter to Reverend
Yes.
Wakefield,
Mhm.
and then that gets interrupted when Claire comes into the room, and then we
I
don't
remember
ever
that.
know really what he's writing about.
and how that resolved, and whether or not he was like actually helping to try to find
I
Jamie
will
in the
say
past.
that is I won't say what he was writing about, but that is a thing that happens in the books that leads to other things.
I do not remember that scene
Yeah.
at all.
It's real
It
brief.
was right before she threw the ashtray at his head, right?
Yeah.
It was right before their big.
He was
fucking
writing and
big
she walked in
blow-up
and he was
fight.
like, "Oh, cover up my papers. Don't see my papers."
Yes.
Sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smile and nod like I remember this.
Anyway,
She was a big giant jerk in that scene.
she was kind of being a dick there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
she was. Yeah,
they were both
they both had dick tendencies.
grieving. They were both grieving for different things.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the fight where there's too many people in our bedroom? Is that fight?
That one
No, it's
comes
before that.
later. Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was before that.
This is when Frank is not yet rocking the '60s glasses.
This is right after they moved into the big house. Like I think it's the same episode.
It's before. Where'd she get the red hair? It's before that.
I could watch this right now and still have no fucking clue what you're talking
She's
about.
pregnant. It's when she's still pregnant with Brianna.
All right.
It's at the very beginning.
Okay.
Anyway, it's also before they do all the fucking when she's ghost fucking him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hot though.
But sad.
Yeah. Is Tobias Menzies your season MVP? He's only in like 4 episodes.
I mean,
I'm sorry, your season TGP?
Yeah, TGP,
well,
the Golden Pamplemousse.
Yeah, you know me.
the golden pamplemousse. Yeah. I mean, probably.
Tobias Menzies.
Probably. I mean, what's Wallaby? That guy has that one moment on the boat that's really fucking great.
Gary Young.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mr. Willoughby.
Willoughby.
Yeah.
E.T. and Show.
Tiens.
Show.
Who's the Foghorn Leghorn, the Reverend that?
Father smokes a lot.
No,
Father Fogden.
No, not him. The season was tough because the season was tough because I felt that everything moved at such an overly accelerated pace that characters that might have received 2, maybe 3 episodes in the past got 10.5 minutes of screen time in an episode. So it's hard to say someone that isn't one of the main characters. And even that list of main characters pretty much only falls on Claire and Jamie at this point, because even Coinface is just in a handful of episodes.
Fergus has a couple things. But
I'm not a fan of Adult Fergus.
blasphemy!
Damn, boy.
Yeah, I prefer a 2 normal-handed child Fergus over Chubbs older Chubbs Fergus.
So you're a bigot.
I want to say Kevin
He doesn't mean that.
does not mean that. He's making an ableist joke and he's going to burn in hell.
He's not a bigot. He's a beehole. Beehole.
100%. No, but I thought that the child Fergus, I enjoyed him more than I liked
yes.
Adult Fergus.
I think maybe
Child
agree with
Fergus
that.
has he's got kind of a weird wry charm about him. He's a little shithead.
Charming shithead.
Which is a nice dynamic to have.
Which you and I think, kind of connect with.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
That's true. Kevin is now wishing he could touch a dick rock, go back in time to when he was a child, and then play parts exactly like this one, where he can go, I will miss his happy face. But now I'm in up one hand, but I get to live a life of leisure.
You do have to think about this, though. Did you notice his accent at all?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It's cool.
I mean, that's work.
It's like listening to an interview with Dirk Nowitzki.
Welcome to Dudelander. That is the first Dirk Nowitzki reference of the episode.
Basketball
That is
reference.
the first.
I mean,
He's
he's German. His accent is kind of German, but with a smattering of I've been living and playing in the NBA for 20 years.
Got it.
Like,
so he's got a little
his
Dallas
slang
in
is
there.
a little Dallas. His slang is unexpected at times. You know.
That jumper holds up, though, after 20
Oh man!
years.
I mean, the one leg to the side, it's crazy.
It's still beautiful.
It is a nice shot.
Yeah, but Fergus is hot.
Yeah, grown-up Fergus is a fine young man. So you guys can just back the fuck off.
What do you think about Mrs. Fergus?
Oh, I like her.
Marsley?
Marzipan.
That's pretty good.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's going to
it's
take
even French.
Dudelander.
Yep.
She's Scottish, though.
Yeah, but he's French.
She's got a little French in her. I'm sure it's a normal-sized amount of French, probably every.
You know, it's not a completely accurate nickname because to me, Marzipan looks very pretty but is extremely flavorless, and I don't think that that's fair to this young actress.
She's quite saucy.
She is.
I really like her. But Marzipan is pretty good.
It's
pretty solid.
I'm going to go back to my TGP. It's probably Coinface, but moving on.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
let's talk about Coinface.
Was that all this season?
David
Yes.
Barry? Yes.
Oh God, it's totally I can't remember what is actually from the season.
I feel like
It
every
was really
episode
condensed.
that he's in,
Yeah, he's really good.
he steals that episode. Like we talked about the finale, he's in maybe 2 minutes. It's the best 2 minutes in that finale.
Lieutenant.
Yeah.
We all clapped.
It's so fun.
We're like, yes.
Yeah, him asking for the warrant Can I see the warrant? Oh, there's surely an affidavit. Can I see the affidavit? Well, then why are you arresting someone in my streets? It was just like so wonderful.
You know what would have made
It
it?
was great.
If he had walked out and before he and Jamie had their bro hug moment, if he had walked out and Coinface had gone, bureaucracy, right? Thank you, paperwork. It's great. It's the only time red tape was ever useful to anybody. That's great.
Now, he married the sister
Yes.
of Jamie's illegitimate son's baby mama.
Yes.
Where is she in Jamaica?
She's not. I think it's mentioned
She
briefly
mentioned it.
in passing.
Yeah, he mentioned
that
it very briefly.
She's on her way with Willie. Or will be soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Willie be soon.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was right
they
there.
stayed behind
Sorry, guys. I'm off my game.
To follow later.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But she's not dead in the time that...
She is not.
Okay.
No. And her name is Isabel.
Yeah. She's good, wasn't she?
Yeah, I liked her.
Speaking of saucy, good morning clothes.
Mm-hmm. Because when she showed up, you thought she was going to be all Debbie Downer womp womp, and then she ended up being kind of awesome.
And 10 times more interesting than she is in the books.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought that actress did a good job. We talked about her in that episode quite a bit.
Yeah, but Coinface.
Yeah.
He's the one that's sticking with me this season too. And I think part of it is that to a certain extent, we now take especially Katrina, but for my mom, for granted because she's always good.
Mhm.
And it's like you get used to somebody being consistently really good and it's easy to forget. Let's call it the Tatiana Maslany plays 76 people in Orphan Black effect. Eventually you just get so used to them being excellent that it's easy to overlook.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that she's just always really good. But here, and didn't have an episode like Faith where she blew the fucking doors off the place this season just because she didn't have that kind of material.
No. Mm-mm.
Things mostly happened to
I
her.
was dead. I saw that shit again just now. I watched the finale. I don't know why I put myself through it, but I watched the finale again with these losers, and it is just even worse the second time around.
When you come swimming into the fray.
Oh my God, we did lose it.
I have gone on record and I have stated, in the past, I'm pretty much just doing Sudokus instead of actually watching this television show. When that moment happened in the finale, I had to pause it because I did a spit take and had to clean up the water I had spit all over my TV and dresser in my bedroom. It's comically bad. Like, it's so, I don't know, it's such a, they lean so hard into this stereotype of their love will conquer everything, including the ability to breathe and see underwater in the middle of a hurricane. Like, it's insane how fucking terrible that moment was.
Can I just say, on a completely unrelated note, that despite constantly unsubscribing from emails, I have gotten 5 fucking emails from the Democratic Party in the last 2 hours asking me to give before
good luck,
midnight.
man.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh God, I'm not going to want to go into my trash Gmail account.
We might come up short,
Tuesday.
Allison. Yeah, do you think you might, Democrats? Do you think you might come up short?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Anyway,
they're
sorry.
low.
What I was doing was going online to find the name of the cinematographer who we should not shade because that is, on a technical level, a very beautiful shot of garbage.
a shot.
I mean, everything's in focus and like.
Oh, the color is
pretty. It's
beautiful.
pretty, like the green.
Framed
I'm sure it was
nicely.
really difficult to light and to make sure that it was as clear as it was. Like, it is
Well, and actually,
really good cinematography. Come on, Janine, hit
and
us.
in actuality, so like they actually probably shot that a lot closer, so it's a bit of editing too to make sure that it matched, so it looked like they were so far apart. Because like the pool they're in, it's deep, but it's not that deep. So
Yeah.
it's like
It's only 20 feet
This
deep. They
shit.
said that.
yeah.
This episode is rated 9.5 out of 10 on fucking IMDb.
He looked that up tonight and said it out loud, and I explained. I was like, some of our fans agree with us that it was not a great
I think
episode, and it
even
kind of felt
those who
like
don't have mixed feelings about the episode.
they kind of felt a little bit scared to say it in general internet places because the fandom of Outlander is so. What's the word I'm looking for that's not shitty?
Robust.
fervent.
Fervent. You know what? Fervent is the word. Thank you, person who gets to write it.
Cinematography
You know
guy.
what? You get paid to write. Let me Venmo
Michael
you for
Swan.
that word.
Okay, thank you, please. You can go to ko-fi.com and buy me a coffee.
Nice.
That's
Fervent.
real, by the way. If any of you are like, I think Allison might need some coffee. ko-fi.com. That's a real thing.
Nice.
It's really weird. Of all things.
But fervent is the perfect word for what the kind of traditional fandom is of this show. And I feel like sometimes people feel a little weird if they don't agree with the mass of people. So you see that this episode got that rating. So you understand that when we put out our episode, we're like, sorry you guys fucking hated it. And if you don't want to listen to us, then
We
don't.
did a little warning.
Has anyone at this table ever rated a movie on IMDb?
No.
No.
Right. Oh, well, all right. Tell us about it.
Well, no, because it was a dark time in my life.
It was when you were doing all your Yelp reviews.
I should say that IMDb ratings are not a good indicator of actual enjoyment in most cases, unless there's like a broad enough fandom of a television show that's been out for a really long time, or it's like a universally adored or universally despised movie, right? Like, it's, as a person who does a lot of talking about Doctor Who, the Doctor Who ratings are actually really useful because people find Doctor Who at all different periods of their life, and so they whatever, and those I find to be, I often disagree with them, but I find them to be pretty accurate. But the flip side of fucking every episode of Outlander this season having like a 9.5 is that
They're going to think they did a good job.
That a bunch of fucking internet trolls, a bunch of MRA douchebags can jump in and give Ghostbusters like a 2.1 rating before it even actually comes out.
Oh, right.
It's like it's a weird garbage system. Anyway, a cinematographer for Michael Swan.
Thank you, Michael Swan.
Very good. He did a really nice job with that piece of absolute ridiculous garbage.
Just that one piece, though.
Oh, I think it's shot really well. It's shot really well.
No. That was beautiful. But like the rest of the time in that episode, just all of it, everything from top to bottom just didn't make any real sense and was kind of unclear.
Oh, no, I agree.
Yeah.
No, it was beautifully filmed.
Can we
Come
check?
on, the cave.
The cave did look cool.
Can we check to see if that cinematographer is working on Aquaman?
I give you a mic for that.
You know what's interesting is Mr. Michael Swan has worked as a camera operator on one of the Avengers films.
Oh.
So you never know.
Yeah.
He could jump over from Marvel to DC.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't, though. Yeah.
Okay. So Coinface is your MVP.
Yeah, I think he almost has to be.
He was really good, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's
I
a
mean,
good call.
it was a toss-up between him and nobody else. It was
Oh, come on. No, you had to like Jenny Murray. Jenny Murray having that meltdown.
half an episode, right?
You love
Yeah,
Jenny
I
from
love
the
Jenny from
Lally
the
Rock.
But when you
She had more than half an episode.
she shows up, she gets mad that Claire's there, interrupts their boning.
Before then, when Jamie is in his
Oh,
wild
yeah.
man hair.
You mean Fraser Gump?
Yeah.
Fraser Gump.
He's got that dumb beard. He's running across Ireland and Scotland.
Poop hat, McBad beard.
They're not saying anything we didn't think first.
No, I know.
It's true. Although Fraser Gump is
Fraser Gump's the
So
one.
good.
It's the one.
I have notes because Neal and I would watch. We would.
Uh-oh.
I was trying to go to salad and scrambled eggs, but it didn't really work for me.
Fraser.
But
Get it?
Oh my God.
This would be a good time to tell everybody what we're drinking. So Neal and Kevin have finished their cherry bounce, which means it's time to pour some more.
Yeah, guys, come on.
They're also drinking their 40s of Miller Lite, a fine Pilsner beer.
a terrible story about the 40s. I went to several different liquor stores and could not find Old English, as
Thank
we have
fucking God.
previously been consuming.
And drank it all.
But you know what? This is better.
This is so much better.
Yeah, it's better.
It's subjective.
I am drinking Kentucky Vanilla Barrel Cream Ale. I have just the one bottle, which is delicious. Julie is drinking our old standby, our favorite boyfriend.
Cold Fusion Cream Ale from Empirical
That shit's
Brewery.
real good.
Exploring the science of beer. And you know what? I'm over here with this fucking jug next to me like some fucking hillbilly outside of the outhouse. And I've already drank half of it.
Hey, Carl, can you please fill me up?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Let me get you something this Mountain Dew.
Oh, I just finally put Mountain Dew together as a thing that you might make in the mountains that would be dewy.
Do you remember the old...
Do you
no.
remember?
The
Do you
old
remember?
God.
advertising shit for Mountain Dew was all hillbillies. Like in the 70s.
I do not remember that.
It was...
I was not born in the 70s.
Right.
We
Well,
had-
I was only 3,
This-
but I remember what it looked like.
It was actually a major case that we talked about in our brand marketing course at my MBA was Mountain Dew, and about how it was meant to be competing against Sprite and Coke but they couldn't figure out how to like get back here, Mike. They couldn't figure out how to bridge the gap, and so that's what they constantly do. Is they're basically trying to find a way to get out of Appalachia, but they can't because it's actually such a powerful place for it to be. So,
right. No, everybody in the South drinks Mountain Dew. It's weird.
Unless they drink the Walmart off-brand, which is called Mountain Thunder.
That's true. That is fucking true. Guess what the off-brand Dr. Pepper is called, you guys?
It's Mr. Pibb.
No. Well, Mr.
The
Pibb.
Walmart brand.
The Walmart, but this is different. This is like Sam's Choice brand.
is it like Esquire Salt?
Is it Dr. Thunder?
That's hilarious. No. You guys, it's Dr. Schnee. SCHNEE. Why?
Mountain Thunder and Dr. Schnee. A new episode a new series coming to the CW this fall.
Oh, you were so close.
I would watch the shit out of it. I'm sorry you fell on that joke, but it was really good. Okay, so any other highlight? Well, I was going back to school and you about Jenny from the Lillybrook. What I'm talking about is one of our favorite scenes from the entire season is Jenny yelling at Jamie, like screaming at him for betraying her family by being a rebel when really she's screaming at him at betraying her family for going to prison to die. That one? That was a good one.
Remember she says, I'll never forgive you, and she means it both ways.
Never forgive you, brother.
And it's so good.
I think you're going to find that Kevin and I are going to have a hard time, like, making umbrella statements about this season because we're going to, for me anyway, there's things that I keep forgetting actually happened to this season. Like, I forgot that this is the season where he was in jail. I forgot that this is the season where Fergus lost his hand. I forgot all this shit.
Can we talk about Myrta? Were you excited to see Myrta? Oh, shut up, Kevin. You're fired.
Well, that's a wrap on Kevin. See you guys later. No, I was, but he, from what I recall, was half dead in the jail and then was kicked over to America, which I crushed a joke when we did this. I'm going to repeat it, but it was like the Neil Diamond song, Coming to America. No, I don't want to do it because now it's dumb.
No, Kevin, now you have to do it. I don't give a fucking late. You have to do it now.
They're coming to America on a boat or on a boat. They're coming to America.
Still works.
It's still good.
Thank you.
That was a regular 2 women, 1 moi.
It's a good line when old Fergus says 2 women. But the fact that his first sexual encounter is a threesome, there's so many things that I would just throw my hands up in the air and be like,
just one hand.
Because the other one's too heavy to lift.
Oh my god!
Stop doing it.
Sorry. It's an audio medium.
Who needs some eating mess?
Sorry, Joe Abernathy. Also another great. He was another great performance in the year. But it's one of those things, like you said, so much happens.
Who is he? I don't know.
So much ground is covered.
Like, is that a real question, Neal?
No, I mean, like, but who is he as a person? I have such a he's an African American who goes to school and manages to become a doctor in a really difficult time for someone like that to make that happen. He's a good friend of Claire's. They're very nice to each other, but like, does he have a wife? Does he have a family? Where is he from? What are his hopes and dreams? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
You know?
Mm-hmm. But he's very charming.
He's a good actor, but you're right. It's very thin, and I would like more. We said that a lot. We wanted more of him.
Did you have the same feeling about one of our other favorites from early on, the human turtleneck? Which, did you see that we stole that shit? We Daphne, the human turtleneck.
No.
We did. That is a joke on The Good Place.
When?
She calls Chidi the human turtleneck.
But didn't we say that about Richard Rankin before The Good Place came out?
I've never
Season 2, right?
Yeah, it's in season 2, but I don't think we started calling him that until this year. I'm pretty sure we Daphne the human turtleneck.
We were calling him turtleneck in last season.
I don't think
Listeners, get out there. Try to go back. All of those
You know what?
episodes.
This is a job for fucking Dr. J. I know you are re-listening to old episodes. I need you to find the first time we talk about
Get out your yarn and your push pins.
Just get in there, fucking take up the whole wall in the dining room. You do what you have to do.
Hey, speaking of listeners and yarn, I have to tell
Oh,
you.
yes, Chantal.
Chantal, those fucking hats.
I wore that hat today.
They are so warm.
And it was key.
Your partner was wearing that hat at the bar last night.
I know. It's very he was like, I don't, it's purple. And I was like, fuck you, wear the hat. And then he was like, this is the warmest hat I've ever worn.
No shit. And right now it's very necessary. So thank you, Chantal.
As we drink out of our crystal goblets.
There's your golden pamplemousse.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just, every time a fan gives us something, I just don't know what to do.
As it turns out, the real golden pamplemousse was all of you.
Was all of you. The whole time.
I gotta go. That's the worst fucking thing.
It was all of you.
You know what, Kevin? Suck my dick.
The real winner is love.
No, that was it.
On a boat and on a boat.
Okay. All right. I want to talk about some other highlights and some other new characters. What did you think about Wien?
Oh, great casting. Looks just like his dad. Oh, I love Old Ian. Old Ian is great.
Yeah. Stone Cold Fox.
Oh, the kid that they have to go save?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The kid they have to save. The MacGuffin of the second half of the season.
Well, he kind of. Yeah.
He's a major character.
He is a MacGuffin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that one.
If you're wondering what that sound was, I just had a stroke. He's good. Come on. When he's fucking losing his virginity, and he's cute and he's little and
MacGuffin.
This is a tactic of
It's actually Neal who had the stroke, guys.
I'm going to tell you, no, this is on the daily. He does this. If he thinks a joke is funny, he'll just keep repeating.
Would you say that he love it?
Oh. That's not even going to be the first time we hear that shit.
Oh, shit.
I'm glad you guys are having a fucking good time.
So Kevin and I...
Yes, now is the time for this conversation.
Talking to your microphone, Neal. Come on.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to blow it out. Kevin and I...
Oh, boy.
We got very excited about the pirate chest of treasure plot point. And so one day... after we watched the latest episodes of Outlander, we decided to watch a related piece of film.
Mm-hmm. I'm just now understanding why you watched this movie.
Some of you may know it. The film is City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold.
This is why you watched it. Yeah, it was for the podcast.
It was for the podcast.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, God.
And one of the big differences between... the first installment in the franchise and this particular film is the presence of one John Lovitz.
Oh my God, I hope you guys roast in hell.
I can't wait for the next installment of that franchise.
Will Jack Palance be played by a hologram? Because he's got to be there. You can't have a City Slickers without Jack Palance.
John Lovitz does his very best work in A League of Their Own. Moving on. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
That is the most Lovitz of roles, too.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. Fucking throw something under the ground. Kara, I'm not going to throw your glass on the ground.
Never.
But I almost did.
You could have thrown the growler. No, because then the beer would have
There's
done
beer in
everywhere.
there.
No, we could have just, for the 40
Let's just
goes
throw Kevin on the ground.
out the window.
Right there.
How do people interpret that I'm the bully of this group?
You know what? That's fair.
You guys, Kevin is short.
Wow.
I stand about the same size as the wee Fergus, and
That's not true. Although he is kind of a lanky youth.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that kid gets a lot of acting work.
Roman.
Can we talk about the blood spurting out of his severed wrist?
Can I tell you, we had a fight. Kevin and I, we watched that episode together for the first time, right? And so there's the whole bit with the bird. And he goes and he gets the gun.
Yep.
And he's,
The Raven.
The Raven, right? And he goes and gets the gun and they're going to shoot the Raven.
Nevermore.
Yep. And we're watching that. I'm like, oh man, that gun is going to explode in his hand and it's going to blow his hand off. That's what's about to happen. And then Shell's like, oh, it didn't happen. And then 10 minutes later, he got his hand cut off.
You're like, why did I feel that so hard.
I'm not sure how I feel about that whole thing going down that way, but
You're a regular Margaret Campbell. We all switch to the high part at the same time. This is an ineffective way to sing this song.
We're not an acapella group yet.
Not yet. We're working on.
We have to get. Listen, when are we doing this album? I'm taking the mic for this for a second. Just when are we doing this album?
Well, once again, this is a job for fucking Dr. J.
We're
Dr.
not
J
doing
has
an
to
album.
go back.
we are.
We cannot. Aaron, you told me we get 30 seconds before they can sue us.
But now we're at parody level.
Oh.
Well, Dr. J, go back and tell us all the songs we made fun of. This is going to be a while. Make a list, though. Write
And
everything
then
down.
along comes Liddy. Oh, let's talk about that. Did y'all see that coming?
No. I 100% thought she was dead.
Oh,
when they took
I
away
heard
the
you guys
burger
talking
to death.
about it. I was in the other room when you were doing the podcast.
That's Galus. Liddy.
Oh, I didn't see Gail's coming at all. I texted you because I couldn't believe that they fucking brought her back. There were so many great characters.
Oh, Leary, his wife, his
Yes.
the asshole from season 1 that put the dolly under her bed. There,
Yeah,
right?
put the dolly under her bed. Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there were so many great characters that they killed off at this stupid Battle of Culloden, and they bring back fucking Leary. Of all the people that you came to meet.
Are you leery of that choice?
I just want to die.
Love it.
I don't hate it.
No, I didn't see it coming, but I also didn't enjoy it.
I was unpleasantly surprised.
Julie just snotted all over her microphone. There's literally a strand of snot on her microphone. It flew out of her nose like a parachuter. It was like she was throwing a rappelling line. It was like she was dropping a rope down to somebody in the ocean. It was like she was fishing. And
Wait, hold on, you guys. I gotta wipe it off.
Oh my god, it really is.
I'll get some alcohol on this later.
That's good radio.
Hey. Hat tip to all you ASMRs out there. All right, cool.
I mean, I have a rationale for it, but I think it's been ruined by Julie sneezing on the mic.
hit me with your rationale.
Well, I always found Leary to be kind of a one-note character of, I'm just jealous. I love Jamie, and I'm jealous of anyone else that gets his affection. And I was not excited to see that come back exactly that way again in the season.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they did a great job casting Marzipan, because Marzipan looks just like her.
Oh, and this is because they talked. There are a lot of people that said things about Leary, about her life and about what it was like for her and Jamie trying to be married, but none of that comes from Leary. You don't hear any of that from Leary. You only hear it from other people.
You barely see any
She
of
doesn't
it.
get to tell her own story at all.
And who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
That's
That's
cool, but that's
No, they don't get that reference.
That was just for you.
Thanks, bro.
but
And almost everyone who listens to the podcast. Just saying, just not for these two.
you're a couple of sensitive dudes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Now
Still
back to
like her,
hot
though.
bitch.
No,
Yeah, they're about to
no,
still hate that bitch.
Give me
Okay.
Galus covered in blood.
But so you did not see. You heard us talking.
I heard it. I heard about it.
It's like that one time that Tom was coming to visit, and you heard Julie talking on the phone from outside the door.
Oh, yeah.
Like that one time.
But hey, but so while we're kind of in this vein with Galus coming back, I was excited about Galus coming back. I was like, oh, awesome. This is awesome. And I thought, I saw the way it started to unfold. I was like, okay. I thought in my mind, I was like, oh, great. Galus in some ways becomes the new Blackjack Randall. Like, that's not exactly what it is, but she becomes a complicated, she becomes an interesting long-term antagonist that has a complicated relationship with our heroes, right? I was like, this could be really interesting. I was really excited for it. And obviously, I'm a big fan of the performer. I was a big fan of the character previously on the show. And then she's just crazy, wants a Scottish king for no really well-explained reason at all. And then she gets her head cut off with a machete, and that's it.
It wasn't cut
It was-
off all the way. It was just
Mostly
like
cut off.
three-quarters. Yeah.
Mostly cut off.
And it was just really, really, really disappointing to bring back the character, treat her the way she was treated as a character, and then dispose of that quickly.
I do want.
Such a waste.
agree. It's hard for me to view it that way because I
Wait, hold on, you guys.
read the books. Oh, kitty scratch.
Okay, cool.
Because I said this to Julia. I barely remember the book Wicked, which I read when that became a whole thing. But I remember that there was the complicated relationship between the two witches, right? And I thought, okay, that's what I thought we were going to see. Glinda and
Elphaba.
Elphaba.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked the book is way better than Wicked the musical. Moving on.
I believe it.
It's hard for me to see it that way as a person who's read the book. So I knew exactly what was going to happen. And to be honest, her return is more interesting in the show. Because in the books, Galus is just a less interesting character in general.
The Murtaugh effect.
Yes. Well, and I think some of that is just one of the great things about adaptation, right? You get a really good actor in a part that's good but not great, and all of a sudden becomes a great fucking part. And it's because the character is very interesting in the books, but not in this way. And she was so interesting in season 1 that they were always going to have a hard time making her much briefer run in season 3 as interesting. And they also obviously found a way to bring her back for that one episode in season 2, which I was so excited about. Scotland.
Was that not in the books, the season 2 return?
No, you know that she's there, but they spend most of her time trying to find her, and then only see her right when she goes through the stones. She doesn't. They are basically following her trail, and they're always too far behind, and
just
she goes through the
Carmen
stones.
San Diego.
Exactly like Carmen
Where
San
in the
Diego.
world?
Carmen San Diego. And with comparably excellent headwear. Hi, Sophie.
She's like, oh, Kevin's way over there. Let me get around to him. He's definitely allergic of me. Let me get over there.
I'm just severely. It's fine.
Oh, no, you're just trying to figure out how to get past all this shit.
She won't come over there.
Anyway,
shit.
She's like, he can't touch me to get me off the table. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, God damn it,
That's
bitch.
what she
You
said.
stupid bitch.
Sophie, come
Aaron,
here.
you can just grab her.
Just
It's
grab
fine.
her,
She
put her
won't
on the
scratch
ground.
her.
Here.
There you go. Yeah.
This is the best part of the podcast.
Oh my God, on the table.
No.
You stupid bitch. That's a
You
no.
ruined everything, you stupid bitch. You're not a stupid bitch, kitty.
So Galus.
So I think that you're absolutely right that it isn't everything it could be, right? But having Galus come back for a longer period than she's back in this book in the on paper story would not have been as welcome. There's also, I've talked about this before, but there's a comparison that I really miss where Claire is talking about basically mom rage and what it is that makes it possible for her to kill Galus. And it's this mom rage when she needs to protect her daughter. It's a good chunk of the book. Anyway, and that's not there. And that's
a good chunk of the book?
Not like a positive chunk of the book.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Like a well-written...
Not like it's the majority of the book.
600 pages of this book is Claire talking about mom rage. I would read the fuck out of that book. I'm sorry.
Flip a gremlin.
Gremlins are so small.
No, the car.
I thought you meant
no, AMC gremlin. Anybody's with me? Whoa.
Anyway,
Those are weird looking.
but I do think that at knowing what exists on the page, that for all of its other flaws, I do want to give credit to whoever it is, whichever episode it was, who wrote the scenes where Galus and Claire are actually talking about the things that happened to them in the past, where they're talking about their friendship and things get messy and complicated for half a second. Because those scenes are great and do not really exist in the books.
Yeah.
Basically, the second that they show up, because they don't see her at the ball, we don't see her before Claire and Jamie do. When they show up at her house, they have no idea it's going to be her. And they know from the second they get there that Ian must be there. So there's no point at which Claire trusts Galus. There's no point at which they seem to have reunited. It's basically just the conversations about time travel, and then we're off and running, and she's dying in a cave.
But then did I also hear that they explained her weird behavior
Claire,
by having syphilis or something?
Claire thinks that in the books that Galus has syphilis, and that it's started to make her go mad. Her eyes are yellow or something. And Dr. J laid down some real doctor truths in our Slack channel about that.
She would have been deformed by this point. Like her skeleton would have been like messed up.
They would have been able to see it in her skeleton, basically.
Oh, okay.
But there is also some. I mean, the entire reason she went back in time in the first place was to try to get a Scottish king. So that's actually consistent.
But
like that's
Does
why
penicillin cure syphilis?
Yes.
See?
Yes,
Could have been interesting. Anyway.
Snap.
Patty. Anyway, I think it's better than it could have been, but it does feel like something of a waste of Lottie for Beak. I was really hoping that what was going to happen was she was going to show up for 2 or 3 episodes, blow the goddamn doors off the place, and win Outlander a fucking Emmy because she's so good, and I want her to get all of the work. And this is the point where, just like every year, I get to say, all of you who didn't watch Agent Carter, it is your fucking fault that I don't get that anymore.
Is she on Doctor Who yet?
No.
I want her to be on Doctor Who. That's just what I'm putting out there for 2018.
That'd be cool. Chris Chibnall, I know you listen. He listens to this one because he listens to Debating Doctor Who.
Oh, of course. So of course he listens
Chris
to this
Chibnall,
one.
please hire Lottie Verbeek.
Please.
She's great.
Anybody hire Lottie Verbeek.
Let her have a romance with the doctor.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I like it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Christmas episode yet.
You guys, that's canon now. 13th Doctor.
Fuck yeah.
The Doctor is a woman.
Oh, right. Yep.
That's real now.
I fucking gotta. That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
I saved the cork from the bottle of pink champagne I was drinking.
Yes.
When I watched the episode in which there was a female doctor. I saved it.
Sophie, I'm so sorry. I accidentally hit her in the face. I got too excited.
You know what you are, Julie? You're a butthole.
I'm a butthole.
A beehole.
Okay, so you were excited about the Britney Spears blood.
It was hot.
I think we all were excited about that. That's not just a Neal thing.
Okay.
Can I see it? I'm going to watch this at some point.
We'll show you that scene.
Yeah.
We'll show it to you.
For some reason, I thought you saw that. Yeah. You're going to want to see that.
You're going to want to see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
then
it's a very good episode.
And it's not just the blood. She's really hot. And I mean, she herself is like doing the whole like seductress.
Oh, yeah.
But then she does the weird like toes
Foot
on
thing.
his face. Like, how do you feel about
No
that?
one requested the toe job. That's
Which is like her weird toes going, oh, crap. Like,
You don't have
ew.
to keep showing
I'm
down.
just going to do it
You
one
don't
more
have to
time.
keep doing it.
You guys, it's really weird. We're sitting at this table, and all of a sudden, Julie's naked leg emerged from the table and started poking
From
Neal
the,
in the
center
face.
of the table. It was really weird.
It was really strange.
Okay, all right. No.
Like in defined
This is going off
physics.
the rails now.
Now?
Okay. So we've talked about.
Cheers.
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 Make it an official oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about. Can we talk about one of our favorites from the season? Poor little Doomface Pound.
Do you remember Elias Pound, the young baby on
Dead
the boat?
kid. The dead kid.
Oh, yeah. That poor little guy.
oh, pound puppy. Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
Yeah. I like how Kevin treats these episodes as an opportunity to try to one-up every nickname we've ever come up with. And you know what? Pound Puppy isn't better than Doomface. It's not. I'll give you Marzipan, but Doomface.
It's not a competition. We can both be right, but that's just how I cataloged that idiot in my brain.
Idiot.
Shots fired. Okay. Okay, so you did not like Gwen.
That's fine, but it's another case of
There and gone.
yeah.
Here and
Well,
gone.
I mean,
Boom.
yes, the sickness. It carried him away.
Oh, jeez.
She sewed through his fucking nose,
Yeah,
man.
and that's supposed to be a really impactful moment because your friend sews through your nose, right? To make sure that you're
It
dead.
should be a friend.
And when the guy makes Claire do that, it should be a really impactful moment, except I didn't get enough time to give a shit. Like, if that were Rupert or anybody from the first 2 seasons of the show, I would
Payne and
be...
Rupert.
We're coming back to Rupert.
Are you kidding? Do you have a heart? I saw this and it got me. Like, I fucking love that.
It pulls all the right strings.
Yeah, you were
I mean,
emotionally manipulated,
yeah, it's hitting all the notes
Yes,
that you would
yeah.
expect, but
It's true. It's easy to do that.
But I think also because the actor does a really good job. The actor, you're like, okay, this is an interesting character. Oh, and they're gone.
Pound.
No. His name is Albie Marber.
Yeah, we got to be real about that.
The mimsy Claude.
Did you know he's the latest man in Hollywood to be accused of sexual harassment?
Oh my God. He's like literally. No, that did not happen. That did not happen.
Oh God.
His name is Albie Barber.
Oh God.
So I wasn't crazy about Pound Puppy.
Okay. Speaking of going off the rest, you're right.
Just because I didn't get enough time to, or I don't know, everything just happened. I felt like, well, I'll get to it now, but my big issue I thought was that this should have been a couple of seasons, this book, because you talk about, I've not seen the size of this book, but apparently it's the biggest one.
I'm not sure it is, but it's long.
It's long.
It's the longest of the season so far.
There's no reason why it couldn't have been 2 seasons. Right? Like, in my eyes, I would have given that first part a little bit more time to breathe, and then it would have ended with her going to A. Malcolm. Or make it, the first season was 18 episodes.
Instead of this, you could have ended at A. Malcolm instead of doing this amalgamation that they've done.
Oh my God, you've been waiting to do that all fucking day, and I'm going to murder you in your sleep. Everybody laughs.
We all laugh until we just
like it's a joke.
Until Neal doesn't show up one day.
This Eton mess is really good.
All right,
It's
give me a
delicious.
piece. Give me a piece.
It's so sweet though. That's why I put it.
Yeah,
in the
white
table.
chocolate.
It's
Julie,
like
will you break me off some of that?
I'm done
I
talking.
will. Here you go.
It's too late.
Kevin, you want some Eton mess?
Sure. I'll eat that mess.
It is white chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
With
Oh, actually, so it's Eton mess, white chocolate, and simple scrumptiousness.
Scrumptiousness.
Is there some significance to the name? I don't know.
back. Well,
Yes.
it's a dessert. It says on the back it's freeze-dried strawberries and pieces of meringue.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. It was a joke. They made a joke about eating mess on the show, and Allison and I, because we're not fucking British, didn't get it.
We thought it was Frank negging Claire about her cooking, and instead she just made a dessert called Eton Mess.
Mm-hmm.
But it has Arabic on the back.
Mm-hmm. So
it's from
Carla,
Dubai.
Don't hand it to me.
Kara sent it to us.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You don't want
So-
nutrition.
All right.
So what you're saying is that you liked Albie Marber but not Doomface Pound.
I don't think
The handling of the character is just like,
I don't think I get enough of an opportunity to form an opinion. I think
Sophie agrees.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was perfectly fine. I think that's the thing with this season. I think that they brought on a lot of actors who are probably very, very talented, but were given almost no chance to show off a lot of those skills. Like
Except for Father Fogden, whoever that guy was.
They get to show off the
Father
skills, but they don't have
Foghorn
any.
Leghorn. Yeah, they have nowhere to go. They're all very surfacey, just moving us
The
to the
writing
MacGuffin.
is nowhere near as good as it was.
Sure.
Season 1
previous seasons, I
specifically.
think.
And it's because there
I
are
don't know.
no
Season 2 is
guys.
very character driven.
Could this be the end of Outlander?
Oh
my God, you fucking hot take asshole.
First of all,
We're trapped in this shit.
Got a real Skip Bayless
We've
on the
been
other end of the
told
table.
by our fans that if we just quit doing it, they're just going to be mad at us. I don't want anybody to be mad at me.
No, I'm optimistic about the next season. I am. I know the kinds of stories that are going to be told, and there are some.
Oh my God, stop. Stop it.
I know the kinds of stories that are going to be told, and I'm going to continue to hold this bottle opener like I could throw it at you at any moment, and that's what I'm going to do. And there are going to be some sticky moments, and there are going to be some things that aren't great, but there's also a lot of really, really good shit coming, including Cherry Bounce.
Good sticky.
Both kinds of sticky.
Great.
That's sticky icky.
Oh my God.
Sticky, icky everywhere.
I'm really looking forward to when it becomes
No.
like The Patriot, and then we just watch the Mel Gibson movie The Patriot next
Or
year.
Last of the Mohicans.
You joke, but
No, it is.
I'm actually watching Turn right now, which so somehow between Turn and Outlander, all of my shows that I watch are in the 17th and 18th
In the
century.
colonies?
Yeah, they're in the colonies now.
The good old days.
The good old days.
And
yeah,
we'll
you've
just make
definitely
a
been watching season 2 of The Crown.
make a quick mark to edit that out and just move on. So for me, I guess I had a really hard time with the pacing of the season. And you don't, after you kill off characters that you have spent 2 years growing to know and appreciate.
Are you talking about Rupert?
I'm talking about all of it.
Let's talk about Rupert.
Growing up Peter Dinklage.
Angus.
The man who invented golf.
This was all at the end
Dougal.
of last
Right,
season. though.
right. If you kill all of those people off, right, then you move us into essentially you move us as far
A
away as you
vacuum.
can from fucking Scotland. We have our touchstones for these characters that we love are gone. You've lost your main antagonist. You've lost all of this drive to your show. So in a lot of ways, I think that they had a really hard task on top of them. And so their idea...
Especially if they're not going to start to develop new long-term characters.
Absolutely. And then their strategy of cramming it into 13 episodes in no way helped serve them. Because apparently, I listen to this podcast, there are a lot of characters they introduced this year that are going to factor in down the road.
Yeah.
But I don't really give a fuck about several of them because I don't know who they are yet. Like Wean is apparently an important character, but half the time he was on a boat.
So
Or
one
on
of
a
the
boat.
ways to know in reading the books, when you're reading the first book, it's all from Claire's perspective, and then it varies, and you start seeing when you're with Claire, it's always first person, and you're reading things in her voice. And with the other characters, you'll see things from their point of view, but they don't narrate. So Claire's chapters are always narrated by Claire, and the other chapters are first person removed or whatever. And you can tell which characters are going to be important, a lot like the Song of Ice and Fire books, by who is getting chapters to themselves. And the characters that we met this season that get chapters to themselves are Wean and Coinface.
Mm-hmm.
And there are others, but I can't say because it'll involve spoilers. But it should be obvious that those people are of some importance.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, Song of Ice and Fire is Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I don't read anything that doesn't have pictures in it. Or is a magazine.
Don't worry. Song of Ice and Fire has pictures in it.
It's
all
on
of boobs.
Okay. Hey, you know what? That's a great segue.
But
Boobies. What did you guys think about the strong, in quotes, mine, sexual content this season?
Was there any good fucking?
the
turtle soup thing. Yeah,
turtle
that was
soup
fun.
fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Turtle soup?
Turtle soup fucking was
Yeah,
good.
it was good.
I thought for the finale, I thought that was the most unnecessary fucking I've seen on TV. And I'm a man that enjoys. Oh, I'm gonna stop.
want you to
My
know
mom
these-
has recently discovered podcasts. So I'm gonna stop.
Your mom is never going to listen to this shit?
She will.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Mom.
No.
We're filthy.
Hi, Mrs. Lambert.
How's it going?
Oh no! Now it's like real.
It's really nice to see you again. I'm very sorry for breaking every illusion you've ever had of me. Don't worry, it's not actually your son; it's his tulpa.
Wow.
What?
The tulpa.
Nice. I don't get that.
You wouldn't understand. It's a Twin Peaks thing.
Oh. No, yeah, I wouldn't.
So
So
So there's turtle soup, which is good. There's a ridiculous thing that happened in the finale.
there's
Hey, Malcolm, the extra long.
Yeah, the extra long.
Well, the extra short, or the extra fast, and then the extra long, right?
Yeah, because there's the one where, understandably,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little. It's
little.
It's little.
there's the fucking where he gets another woman pregnant.
Oh, God.
yeah,
right.
gratuitous booblet.
Where he gets
Genevieve?
raped, right?
Geneva?
Yes.
Geneva.
Yes. Neal, that is correct. That is part of why that episode is so complicated. When you coerce somebody into sex in a way that they cannot say no, that is rape.
Mhm.
Jamie gets raped again. And then later in the episode, thinks he has to offer his body to his friend to make sure that his son will be cared for. And it is very sad. And
Yeah.
that is a really good scene.
I think
is a
that's
good
one of my
scene.
favorite scenes in the entire season.
That might be Sam's best scene in the whole season too.
I think. I think as far as like consuming it through all of you and your descriptions, I actually think that's my favorite episode. It's a complicated, hard episode.
The
but-
weird Hellwater episode.
What's the name of it? Is there a name of it?
I think it's called
I think it's
Hellwater,
called
isn't
Hell-
it?
I'm gonna
That's
check
the
right
name
now.
of the estate.
I think
As opposed to the last episode, which was Turd Water.
That's what I said.
Turd water.
I told Bianca, just lay down and let the turd water wash over you. And Neal kept going, there goes another one right past my face.
Oh God!
Barely keeping my nose above the water.
Above the turd water.
What were we talking about?
now
no,
Kevin
no,
is
it's,
Talking about sex.
it's of
Lost things.
No,
of lost
is it?
things. Yes, because it's the one where he leaves Willie and then they
and
bust
that's
into Bob
also,
Dylan. Let's talk about that in a minute.
I really liked that. That's grown on me since. But in 1968, that's Claire and Brianna and Roger trying to chase, to follow Jamie in Scotland,
Right.
and then the trail goes cold.
Oh, is this the thing with the papers? That's
Yeah.
hilarious. But shuffle papers. Oh, I found him.
And I think that's what colored that episode negatively, was that like bizarre, like cartoony thing. But like otherwise, like Jamie's part in that, I actually really like that.
Really, the part where he shoots a man and then catches a baby before it falls to the ground.
Oh, did you listen to the podcast though? Do you know what happens in the book?
He
Catches it before it falls out of a window.
That's true.
With his go gadget arms.
Is that worse or better than him swimming directly to her 50 feet under the water
Of a hurricane.
of a hurricane?
No,
Equally
that.
bad.
No, it's in the eye of a hurricane where it's quiet
I'm with you.
for just a moment.
I'm with you.
In the sky.
No,
Rock me like a hurricane.
No.
no, it's still the worst thing I saw this season.
This is the story of a hurricane.
Back to Bob Dylan. There you go.
Yeah.
Are we just turning into a spoken word karaoke?
BT Dubs, New Year's Eve tonight. Karaoke at the
Oh
L.
yeah, we should probably say this is how we chose to spend the first part of our New Year's Eve. Janine pre-gamed.
This is my second part of my New Year's Eve. I'm going
Janine
back
pre-gamed.
Me and Kevin, too.
I didn't. Am I the only one?
I didn't pregame.
Oh, we didn't
beer.
drink.
No, we
had-
sat
we had-
and watched that episode.
And ate conies.
We ate sweet, sweet coney dogs.
Neal made coney dogs today, you guys.
Kevin, because you talked about how he missed him from his childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember being like, you know what I love from my childhood? Coney dogs. We had a conversation about it. Sure. You know what? They got me coney dogs, so fuck. Yeah, that's what we talked about.
That's exactly how it happened.
That's it. That's what it was. My kid, as a kid, we ate them all the time.
Oh, okay. So now that we've done that, what did you guys think about at the end of that episode for the first time in the series when they switched to the modern music? The Bob Dylan thing when Jamie was riding away from Hellwater.
Right, but did that happen like twice and then it stopped happening?
Yeah, it never happened again.
Yeah, so I hate it.
Oh, guys, I love it.
But why did it go away? Why did it...
Because it was a
didn't they
bad
keep
idea.
doing
Did it only
It was a bad
happen
idea.
before A. Malcolm and then after A. Malcolm they stopped doing it? Is that what happened?
I think so. Who knows? It might come back next year. We will absolutely be getting more time in
It's like
1968.
Peaky Blinders.
So it is very possible that
I think that maybe on a
That it'll
boat,
be back.
you can't hear music.
It's bad luck.
I
Bad
should
luck.
Bad luck to
say
have music on a
Bob
boat.
Dylan on a boat. It's bad luck.
It's bad luck to hold anything behind your back with your left hand on a boat.
It's bad luck to step on your right foot when you get out of bed.
I have an important question.
Your shoulders have to touch the ground before your feet when you get out of bed
Did
on
you
a boat.
think
or
that
it's
guy
bad luck.
looked anything like you?
Which guy?
No.
No!
What guy?
The guy that I thought
all.
looked like Kevin.
No.
Which guy?
I said
One
no.
of the nerds that,
The one who didn't touch the motherfucking horseshoe?
he's like one of the
That ends up climbing the scaffolding or
Yeah, and
whatever.
where I honestly, because I've been incredibly sleep deprived the last couple months, where I honest to God thought that he was going to lose his hand by having it ripped off, and that was going to, or Jamie was going to suggest that they cut it off to solve the problem of him having not touched the. I was very tired, guys.
apparently.
Yeah,
I look
no.
nothing like that.
I don't
man.
think
remember
that
that
guy
occurring to
looks
me
like
at all.
Kevin.
It's the nose.
You've
You've got a nose that looks like you've never touched a horseshoe.
and I haven't. A little known fact. I don't touch shoes at all, horse or otherwise.
You just like a wedge mule?
Yeah,
Just slip-ons? Only? Slip-ons?
Crocs.
it's because I never learned how to tie laces.
Oh, okay.
And he's terrified of Velcro.
So you'd
Yeah,
be shit
he's
on a
scared of
boat.
feet.
It's the noise. I'm
Jesus.
Okay, so anyway, Who else haven't we talked about? Oh, well, you mentioned briefly E.T. and Chill,
Yeah.
Mr. Willoughby,
His
Gary
po-
Young.
his poem, not poem, I'm not sure what to call it, but his performance there at that
The
moment,
monologue.
Yeah.
In
I'm
the
going to have to cut
doldrums.
off this guy's hand because of a horseshoe moment, was great. The doldrums, that is the name of the episode, right?
It is.
Yeah, don't say there's nothing to do in the doldrums.
Oh my
it's
God.
Just
I
not
just
true.
shouldn't have just fed that to you. I did not know that you were going to go Phantom Toll Booth. And then you did.
Don't say there's nothing to do in the doldrums.
Drums. He does this shit to me
Just
all the time,
20
you guys.
seconds, not 25 seconds. Stop. Now we don't have to
Okay.
This is always such an interesting experience.
So we're unraveling a little bit. Let's bring back some more focus. I know.
E.T. and Joe.
yeah, we're
right?
talking about we're talking about Gary Young.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What were your favorite Gary Young moments and your least favorite Gary Young moments?
For sure, his spoken word piece was great.
Yeah, I think the first moment where you get to actually understand a little bit about who he is and why he's there, it's great.
And I kind of like the moment where he sees Margaret across the room at the party.
Oh God, they were both so good.
Yeah,
and
even
then that
though,
became
again,
such garbage.
Even though so well developed.
I would say my least favorite is how they kind of handled him in the finale, because all of a sudden, even rewatching it today, I still am not clear why he just kind of was there. And I don't...
That's because there was no reason.
Oh, okay, cool. So I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it was garbage.
I just thought the way that they handled him, because it's like, well, I guess it's goodbye forever for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but where's the end?
Goodbye to you.
Goodbye to you.
I'm done, Aaron.
Let's go. I'm on your knob.
He's going to write it.
I'm on your
You are
knob.
not on my knob.
Ooh.
When I said he's going to write it, I didn't realize that you said, I'm on your knob.
Jesus Christ.
Now there's beer on Allison's microphone.
God.
It's like a parachute of beer.
Is this the first instance of a recorded sound of a spit take? Is that the first
It might
recorded
be.
spit take?
It might be. Hold on, guys. Once again, all you ASMR people out there, I'm sure that sounded really good.
I don't know what ASMR is.
That's that shit where people go to YouTube and there's some woman whispering and thing, and then they're touching a hairbrush, and people get all that weird, like, fucking goosebumps and, like, tingly shit. Yeah. No, you're doing it for him right now. No, that's not
That's
doing
not,
it for them.
that's not what it is, Allison.
That's also not doing it for them. It has to be like this.
Oh, it's just soft like.
It's like-
It's
Wait, if this is crystal.
Kevin, do you have? You know what? Look, idiots!
yeah, this is
Carrie, you said
is
it's
absolutely
defective
going off the
crystal.
rails.
I got it.
On your fucking 40?
Ready, Greg?
Wait. No, here we go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Guys, what has happened? What is going on?
I wish that all of you could see Kevin's face.
I like to think that I'm the biggest moron at this table.
You're not, buddy. Neal's right
Can
here.
you play yakety sax for a second?
And go.
It's almost like another episode started, huh?
We could do it that way.
No, that's not the way it's going to be.
We'd like to apologize for the. No, we fucking wouldn't.
No,
I
I'm
love
not
that
apologizing
shit.
for
That's
that.
solid gold.
That shit is hilarious.
I stand behind every second of that. Here's
I
the
have
thing:
no regrets.
if people haven't stopped listening to us at this point, then the bottle sounds are not going to be the thing that pushes them over the edge.
No,
Love
agreed.
Okay.
So we discussed Gary Young. You know who we didn't talk about that we wanted to talk about is
Who?
Rupert. You guys,
Yeah.
what did you think about Rupert?
One episode, one done. Did he win?
Is that eye patch, Rupert?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Pure socket.
It was
All the way
Down to the bone.
It was nice, kind of as a bridge into the start of the season, to have someone that didn't die at Culloden kind of come back and be a little bit of of a touchstone in that episode. I think he did great work from season 2, so I was
Happy to see him.
I
was-
need
yeah.
to keep a quick pace.
Yeah. I thought he was funny.
You're bummed because you don't have a name for him.
I might. I honestly can't remember if I do or don't.
Eye Patch McGee.
Yeah, it's Eye Patch McGee. I sat for hours and I came up with marzipan. Hours. You should see the notebook where they're all scratched out when they're good.
Mars Attacks. No.
Laces out. Laces out.
Mars Bars. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so cool.
Mars Hadron Collider. No.
Armor Superstar.
So
30 Seconds to Mars. No.
you guys.
God damn it.
Damn it.
Start again.
Yes.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Now Kevin's being mean to Janine.
So
You son of a bitch!
Listen, you guys don't know this, but I gave everyone at this table solid gold watches. Okay? I'm so sorry.
look at this Rolex.
It's coming. It's in the bag. You'll get it later.
Oh, anyway, Patty. Now that we've talked about things that you might have liked or actors that were good or whatever, it's pretty clear that this was not our favorite season. I can think of across the board. You each get 2 things to talk about that you hated the most.
Alternately, you can cash in your time and instead talk about.
You know what, City Slickers 2 again?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you know what? That's
Sophie's
fine.
choice.
Or Princess for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were going to do. No, that's the Anyway
yeah,
Patty.
we were good. Yeah, okay.
That's the Anyway
That's a
Patty.
special bonus
Wait,
episode.
I thought you watched it.
No, we watched the finale
but
instead.
they're going to Maria solve it.
I needed more time to make cheese conies for Kevin.
They were so good.
So we're going to do like a quick 10-minute Anyway Patty of them Maria solving.
Well, then we really need to click this shit along.
Yeah, so 2 things, guys. Go.
Claire's boat drag.
You liked the boat? No, you hated the boat drag.
That picture that I kept seeing of her, like on all like the Instagram feeds and everything, with like, yeah, I didn't like it. Pirate.
You didn't like the bat suit?
Oh, are we doing like alternating or are you doing your 2 and
I
then
don't
my 2?
know.
You didn't like, no,
I don't have
really.
a
You
list.
didn't like the bat suit?
I'm just off the top of my head. Every time I saw that picture of her in like her on a boat that started showing up on Instagram.
Motherfucker.
Wait, do you have something against hats? Because
know.
that straw hat was so fucking jaunty. I don't know who the fuck you are anymore.
I'm just making stuff up. I was not prepared with the list.
Okay, so Kevin, what's something that you
Don't
hated?
worry, you've only known you were doing this since we did the first one and decided we would do it every year.
That's accurate.
I truly hated when they played the Batman theme song while she was making the Batsuit. Making that costume is so super smart, and for a really shitty time traveler, something I didn't expect her to do. But the choice to play the theme from Batman.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
What the fuck?
Now imagine that song, but it's like a woman like carefully measuring out a piece of fabric and then making like a real long cut and then like hanging the fabric and draping it and then like pinning it where she's gonna sew it later. It didn't fucking work for me.
You know what would have made it better if instead, while she was doing all that work, it was "Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?"
SpongeBob SquarePants!
I don't know why, but it would have been brilliant.
All right, Neal, number 2.
Other things I didn't like.
There are plenty.
So many.
Drums.
Yes,
Generally,
he
some of the
did hate the drums.
island music,
just kind of the entire
in
like
the intro, in the opening
racism
credits.
bullshit
Like
in general.
the song starts, the theme song starts, and then all of a sudden it cuts to like you see like palm leaves and there's drums underneath it, and I'm just like, oh, this is sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
This not.
Not. All right.
So
okay.
yeah, I didn't like the racial sensitivity on this season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kevin.
Wow. How do I follow that up with something that doesn't sound minuscule?
I started
or
with
important?
pirate drag.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
come on.
I don't. I'm really trying to narrow it down because there's
Right.
so much that I feel like I've already touched on that has angered me.
Like a moment or something like very specific that when you watched it, you were just like,
I think it was when.
I mean, we haven't talked about Survivor Barbie at all.
Oh,
We haven't talked about Brianna at all.
I have another thing question.
okay, come.
Can I just go with this?
No,
Yeah,
I
sure.
got it. I got mine.
Do yours, Kevin. Do
I
yours.
think it's in City Slickers 2 when Billy Crystal is shirtless and he's being portrayed as like
It's
a
like a sex
sexual
symbol.
being.
It was like, no, come on,
It was
look.
awful.
Stay in your lane.
Bow
You need to
tie.
understand what the movie is.
It's terrible. But then Curly's outside the window watching him.
Yeah, but it's not Curly.
It's Curly. It's
Duke.
It's Duke. It's his brother.
Duke.
That to me. That was the worst.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, Neal, what was your next thing? Okay, now you can laugh. I can't help it.
Explain. I just need this explained to me. So they've been like doing time travel hijinks for like a couple seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
They've been separated by war and time and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing that they have failed to do at every turn, one thing that has never, ever, ever worked, is to change history as Claire knows it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is Jamie spending time writing seditionist pamphlets?
Damn, that's a deep-ass question, Starburn.
You got to do something to keep that tight-ass body going.
Well, okay. So,
You got to work those pegs out, right?
first of all, a character trait for this person would be he always does the thing he thinks is right. That's one answer. The second is all they actually knew when he was writing that shit is that they failed to stop Culloden, not that they couldn't change history.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is maybe there's just possibly a chance that in the future they change history.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, like they stopped Hitler's rise to power.
They helped
Or
win
like-
the Revolutionary War.
Wait.
I'm right. I just fucking called it.
Well, I mean,
I called it.
Let's say Claire doesn't help win the Revolutionary War. Claire, saves lives.
Because she
She's a
won the
lifesaver.
Revolutionary War.
Does Claire
That is
sew the
still
American
history,
flag? Does
as
she
far as we know.
replace
Claire
Betsy
knows it.
Ross?
Mm.
Oh, thank God. Does Claire write our national anthem and replace?
Does Claire sew the flag?
He just
Literally,
did
he just said.
Do your
you
headphones
already
work?
No.
Do your headphones work?
I don't
Julie?
listen to you, Kevin.
No, I mean, obviously,
You guys,
the
we are all
Revolutionary
bullies,
War.
and Kevin is not a bully.
It's a coming. The Revolutionary War is coming. I'm not going to tell you anything that happens, but it
I
will not
assume
surprise you to know
the
that.
colonies win.
I don't know. Do they?
I mean,
Wait a second. Are there spies? Because I'm watching a show about that.
oh
right now.
god.
Hercules Mulligan.
I'm just saying. It's like it's a big risk, right? You could get if you caught, you can get tried as a traitor for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
He does have like family. He does have responsibilities. He does have people that rely on him. Like the smuggling is one thing, but
I think that Jamie is a messy bottom and just likes drama.
Mess.
He likes drama.
my eyes are so big right now.
He likes drama. Like he and Claire both.
No, but it's the two. It's the
Oh, yeah.
pairing.
No,
of
I'm
he's
so-
a
I'm
messy
sorry about
bottom.
that. Actually-
Ergo, he
Actually-
just likes drama.
I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I'm not trying to be a bitch about it. But it does feel like they both thrive on like crazy events.
I would also say too, like Jamie has not necessarily been the most level-headed gentleman,
No, he's
Ever?
very stubborn and
like
quick to action.
and the seditious writing, like also is just like what's all right.
I'm laughing at Neal going,
I mean, Neal.
Sorry, Aaron, Janine, I'm sorry.
No, you're asking me like a push up my glasses question. I'm giving you a sincere push up my glasses answer. So the shit he was writing was mostly about taxes and tariffs, which is actually shit that would change, right? He's not trying to stop the Battle of Culloden. They already tried that and they failed, which is maybe just because Claire was really bad at time travel. We don't know. They could have stopped it if she was less shitty at time
Oh
travel.
my god, they're going to do the Boston Tea Party.
No. Nope.
That's it.
No, they really are
They're doing
not.
the Boston Tea Party.
They are not.
That's it.
They really are not.
I'm convinced.
Also, like that.
Here's what happens. Claire is just walking down the harbor and she trips over a box and a bunch of tea falls in the ocean.
Also, like if you think about it too, like if you're trying to change history, it's best to do it in small ways, not large ways, right?
Right. Do it in the ways that didn't make it into the book, so you could always say that you did it.
Exactly. Well, and also too, but if you're thinking like, we know the Battle of Culloden's happening, what she should have done instead of trying to stop that shit is just going, hey, yo, boo, I love you. Let's get the fuck out of here because you're gonna fucking die.
Well,
Like-
but no.
Oh, he can't
but
though. He's
Janine-
honor bound and
Yeah, he never
Also,
would have.
everyone they fucking know. would have
toxic
also died.
masculinity.
Yeah,
and,
okay, fine. fine. But obviously that wasn't going to happen then. But now we're talking about the American Revolution, and so what the story, how it's probably going to go is that, hey, listen, Mel Gibson's got this. We're good.
Let's just watch The Patriot instead of season 4.
No.
Fuck all that.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Sorry.
How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot? I really can't I cannot believe how far you get into the opening song of Hamilton before it stops playing Outlander. How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by providence, impoverished and squalor, grew up to be a hero and a scholar? It's the $10 founding father. That's when it stops being applicable to Outlander.
$10 founding father.
Well, how about
Jamie Fraser, not on American currency.
Not on that 10.
Oh, welcome to Dudelander, guys.
Dudelander. All right, I don't have any other questions. Do you guys? Okay.
I want to continue talking about
Give me a
this.
question.
Sure.
No, I mean, I want to continue talking about Jamie trying to change the future.
Well, I think your point is really interesting about that. What he's actually writing pamphlets about are just policy decisions. It's just like change. It's not put a Scottish
policy
king on the
decisions
throne.
as we know it.
But it's just no taxation without representation, basically, which is why I went to the Tea Party, which is, we now know is going to happen.
And whiskey gang effed together.
Yep, Amalgam.
All right, very specific question.
Hate it.
Did y'all like that faint as much as we did when he just fucking passed out?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was solid.
Yeah, I think that's an honest moment of what it would be like to have someone that you thought you'll never see again, that you truly love, just kind of magically reappear in your life and know that it's real for a change.
And follow-up question. What'd you think about Geordie?
Wait, we had something for this. What was it?
Shit.
Shit.
Gordy LaForge.
Goiter LaForge. That's what it is. Goiter LaForge.
As a Star Trek nerd, I just got the Geordie reference now.
And well done to both of you.
Gross.
Happy New Year.
What did you think about the treffening?
Sorry, I need to go.
Oh, the trepanning.
I need to go back a second. I need to go back. Pre Gordy LaForge. I thought that
Back to Scotty.
I would have really enjoyed seeing more time of them trying to readjust to being together. It's like they kind of hinted at that a bit of like, oh, this is a weird adjustment because we've spent 20 years apart and have totally separate lives now. Do you still have a place to come back together?
I disagree.
I wanted to see more of that because that's an interesting...
an
interesting relationship dynamic, and this season was not at all. I felt like barely about relationships. It was just about driving action.
I hear you, but the reason I disagree with you is I think that there are things that they addressed it.
Please don't touch me, cat. Oh, God, clawed me. Like right by my nards.
She knows what to do.
Money with my nards.
She disagrees with you.
Sophie, let go, honey.
She was right in there by my balls.
Do you need help, Allison? Do you need help?
She's hanging on so hard.
Okay.
Here.
She's like, all I want to do is hang out with Kevin.
All right, so why do you disagree?
No, we need to discuss.
Kevin, are you cool?
Sophie jumped into Kevin's lap and then clawed him. She wouldn't let me grab her. Like she just really wanted to get up in his junk. Are you okay?
She said, there's some interesting smells up here.
No, there's a lot of scents down there, baby. Yeah, no, I'm all right. I'm not like swelling up yet. I'm not getting itchy. So.
If you need to, there's alcohol, and I can show you cotton balls, and we got shit in there because I know that you're fucking allergic, and if you're scratched, you need to deal with it.
I know. I don't think she. I think she punctured denim, but I don't think she punctured flesh.
Okay.
All right.
Thank God I wore underwear today.
You ruined everything.
Yeah, you disagree with Kevin.
I understand why you're saying that, Kevin, but the reason I disagree with it is because it's twofold, and I'm going to start with the second part, which is that they do kind of address it. They talk about, we've been apart. When they reach little moments of conflict of opinion, they sort of address that. Well, we've been apart. Do we even know each other? All this other stuff. Are you the same person? Am I the same person? All this stuff has happened. They do address it a little bit, but I also think it is possible to, when you have a strong connection with something or someone, to spend time away from it and then come back to it and find that you can pick it up in a lot of ways just exactly where you left off. That's been my experience in my life anyway.
Sorry, I want to respond, but
What a fucking romantic.
You're just a garbage person. But I think that
Just a garbage
if they took a little bit more time with the season instead of just outright saying, hey, here is conflict, like there could have been underlying tones of it kind of layered and moving throughout the season. Instead, they just outright had to say it so that it was acknowledged so that we could move past it and then we could go get treasure.
I hear that. Like there could have been glances peppered throughout
Yes.
where they're like, is
No,
this
but
a thing
do you
with
guys
us?
remember the moment when they came into the governor's mansion in Jamaica? Where they had that
I
moment?
can't believe that sentence is just fucking... Okay, sorry.
Where they had that moment and something happened and they looked at each other and there was this just kind of frank, like, love, like, we've been together forever.
This thing between us.
Right.
Which they reference a lot.
And
this
that
season.
shit was fucking cool. I mean, they do talk about it. It's there if you look for it. I do agree with you, though. Just overall, this entire
With Kevin.
season was rushed. Yeah, I agree with Kevin. It was just pushed too far and, like, I get it. That's how I felt a lot.
Okay.
As somebody who didn't read the books, I was just like, I don't understand what's happening. It feels like nobody's getting any development.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, great. That's all I wanted to say. You had more questions about Gorder LaForge?
No, I just
My first question is, why wasn't he eating any salt?
that's the spinoff I want. The real spinoff I want is I would love a Coin Face series. Bring it. There's so much material. He's a stone cold fox and a really good actor, and I would watch all of
He
that
is
shit.
really good.
Isn't he really good?
Yeah.
He's very subtle and restrained and did a lot with material that frankly could have been better because Lord John Grey is one of the most empathetic, compelling characters on paper, and what he's given in these scripts is nowhere near as good as it could have been, and yet he's still so compelling. So I think he's really great. David Barry. Also, I don't know if I mentioned Stone Cold Fox.
Yeah. Coin face, baby.
He's very good.
When it happened tonight, when we got the full profile,
Did you pause it?
I was like, no, I waited for it. And I was like, full coin face the moment it happened. And Neal and Kevin both laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it, Julie. You're funny.
Yeah. I mean, we already made that joke.
I mean, I think
that's
that. What does 18 mean?
an hour 18.
We're 18 minutes into this next after Yak.
It's
This is
also
exciting
almost
for a listener.
2018.
No, that's too much math.
And
for
it
me.
is also 2018.
You said you wanted to do 20 more minutes. That's fine.
Yeah, we're done. We're right
So
here.
we've got like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should we count down to the new year?
From 120?
No,
Yeah.
this
God,
is
that's
the
the
point
lamest
at
thing I've
which
ever
Julie needs to briefly fill time so I can pull up our patrons list. Julie, can you do our Facebook shit and our Twitter shit and all that shit?
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. I believe in you.
You got this.
Okay, if you go to face.
Come on. Say it with confidence. You fuckers could do it. Come on. Say the shit.
Hey, everybody, can you give us a like and give us a follow on facebook.butthole.gov? and
And you can give us a 9-star review. That really helps.
Yep.
But it also helps if you actually write a review about how much you were into what we talked about.
if you like all this stuff, find us on Twitter at podlanderdrunkbutthole.edu.
That is not
And
what it is. Also, I need to go to that establishment of learning.
Oh my God. Hi, everybody. You can find us at facebook.com/PodlanderCast. You can find us on Twitter at PodlanderCast. You can find us
Oh, that
on
makes more sense.
I will
That makes more
remember
sense.
Okay.
Patreon at patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast. You can find Julie at Julie Starby. BEE, like butthole EE. You can find Janine at Pagel_Aaron because Janine's name is actually Aaron.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
You
With
can
an A.
change your Twitter handle.
Can I?
You can.
Wait, that one particular?
Haven't you seen
You
Sue,
can
Sue the
change
T-Rex changes it all the time?
Best,
It's
best
true.
Twitter accounts.
Oh,
It
it's-
is a
it
best
the
I
best
should,
Twitter
I should
account.
just do that then. And then create an actual personal one. Because really the only thing that's on Pagel_Aaron is Janine.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me at Allison Chu. You can find Kevin at not Kevin L.
That's it.
And you can find Neal at
Butthole.
Butthole.edu.
Nah, man. At Neal Starbird.
Crystal.
At this point, we need to thank all of our patrons because you make it possible for us to do the show because, frankly, this much alcohol is expensive. And also we have equipment and we have to pay money to put it on the internet. And then there's all this other shit. And then the crystal.
The crystal.
Not meth. Not meth.
So we want to thank all of you. And every once in a while we get drunk and read the whole list. But today is not that day. So I'm just going to read. But Neal, stop making that noise. So I'm
Welcome
just
to
going
life,
to thank
bitches.
all of our patrons, but especially our most generous patrons. I want to make sure I give you all a little extra pizzazz because of the new year. Jenna Polkowski.
Whoa, this is new.
Dr. J. Lori McGuire. Yvonne Kaiser. And Gavin. And Gavin. Katie Kirschner. Hi, girl. Amanda Newton. And Beth Locke. Also,
Love you, Beth.
Ida with an I, Kelly Sheehan, Jessica Dobrovich, Aaron Yutzi. Maybe my favorite name to say of all of them. That's not true. There's one more that's coming that I enjoy saying more. But Aaron Yutzi.
Is it Kevin Lambert?
It's not. Molly Layton, Heather Moore, Ruth McCormick, Trish McCrary, Kara Marlowe. Cheers, guys.
Thank you for the crystal, Kara.
Crystal.
Catherine Galindo, here we go. Kiki the Wise. Flourish Root. By the way, flourishroot.com. I think her name is Jen. Jen is a florist, I believe. She runs a greenhouse. Go to flourishroot.com if you live anywhere near her. Patronize her business because it's beautiful. Anyway, Friday.
Where is it?
It's on the internet.
No, but I mean, it's a florist, right? So
Yeah,
it's
but you can go do
I
that
cannot
yourself.
check that right now.
No, I just like a good florist. Whatever, okay.
Jen Lander Drunklin, who, as a reminder, came to Chicago from fucking California to hang out. Jan Lander, you're the best. I cannot wait to sleep on your basement floor.
Dan Lander, we
Bud,
miss you.
Bill,
You were so much
Bud,
fun.
Bill, what was the guy?
Ben.
Everybody that came with
Ben.
Ben
Ben was
also
also
cool.
really cool.
Ben.
And Kathleen Moniz. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Also, all of our other patrons, you're all amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for supporting us over the course of this year. You'll be hearing this in 2018, but for us, this is one of the last things we're doing with this garbage fucking year. And one of the best things, I don't even give a shit about these two dudes. For me and Julie and Janine, one of the best things about this bullshit, terrible, garbage fire of a sweaty scrotum year
Ooh, yeah, that was
is
true.
that we got to spend so much time with you, either in person or on the internet or in our Slack channel or in emails or in any number of other
Or
places.
in person.
Yeah, or in, I said in person,
Oh,
bro.
I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm drunk.
It really,
No, they're
it
done.
has meant a lot to us, and it's so fun, and that we get to do this every week, and that it actually goes somewhere to people who take any kind of pleasure from it means a lot. So thank you for making our 2017 even slightly more bearable.
One tick less shitty.
And next year, we will do our very best to continue to make you laugh and sweat awkwardly as we hopefully move toward a brighter future. And from all of us here at the Podlander Drunkcast, I hand it over to these dudes for whatever the fuck they're about to do.
Just in honor of the season and the holiday and the great Scottish poet, I thought we could. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne? Happy New Year, everyone!
Auld Lang Syne,
my dear. Oh,